change in the structure of architectural education, which starts to address the appalling student debt that architectural students face, address the issues of inclusivity, and start to think about how we bring together practice and academia in a way that we haven't seen for a long time. On the membership front, prior to becoming president, I'd been vice president for membership, and I decided that we needed to have a review of member benefits, and we needed to review all our categories, because again, it had been such a long time since they'd been rethought. I mourned the loss of the fellowship, and my ambition was during my 2-year term was to relaunch the fellowship category, not for the amount of years that one had been a member of the RIBA, but for merit, whether you won an architectural award, whether you contributed to architectural education, that's a bit of unfinished business, but next year we will be launching the new fellowship category, the new FRIBA, and charter practice offer. We've had a very strange structure to the charter practice offer, whereby whether you're a solo practitioner or a huge practice, the charter practice offer is the same. It's a one-size-fits-all, we have started to rethink that offer, and again, a much more bespoke offer for charter practice membership will be launched next year. No matter how well you're prepared for presidency, there are always things that come along to trip you up, and almost as soon as I was in office, the government decided that it was going to review the Architects Registration Board, and there was a real threat that architects would lose protection of title. Members were telling me that that was very important to them, and indeed from a consumer protection point of view, I think it was recognised that that was important. We were successful in making the case to government that the title should be protected, and in fact we've now gone on to further negotiations with the government to try and look at education and streamlining the whole process of prescription of the profession. The influence of the RIBA at government level grows. Sometimes I don't think we communicate as well as we should about that, but certainly in terms of engaging with the government on housing standards, demographic change, healthy cities, the RIBA has really begun to have traction, and our general election white paper, Building a Better Britain, was really received remarkably well by all parties, and indeed only 2 weeks ago was referred to our approach on thinking on schools was discussed in the House of Commons. And there needs to be more work on that, but again, I think you're beginning to see the Institute have a greater influence politically. And internationally, one thing you realise as President, because we have 4,000 members internationally, is the reputation and the profile and the respect that the Institute has internationally. I've had a wonderful Vice President International, Peter Oberman, over the last 2 years, and over the last 2 years we've established memoranda of understanding with Brazil, Oman, China and Canada to promote and support our members internationally, but also to support our fellow institutes around the world. And only this year I was in India establishing an India chapter. We have very strong relations in China. You may have heard of the Regent Shop Window. It's a brilliant idea of getting young practices to design shop fronts with the chain stores promoting their work. And we've extended that to China with the Shanghai shop windows. And you can't imagine how proud I was as president to be walking along the streets of Shitendi in Shanghai and seeing the RIBA brand all over the street promoting the work of our members in that country. But a major thrust, I suppose, of the last 2 years has been, and as I said, set against an emerging economy, has been to try and think about how we might create new opportunities for our members. I came into office, there had been a lot of press about the waste in competitions, and so I commissioned a review of competitions, and about to be published will be a new document advising clients. Competitions are an alternative means of procurement for clients, and guidance for clients will be published this year to eliminate the waste that we spend as a profession on competitions. And Find an Architect. The Find an Architect search tool on thenewArchitecture.com, which is a much more friendlier interface now for those would-be clients seeking the services of an architect. This year, in September, we're now in September, this year alone, that aspect of the website has had 1 million views since the beginning of the year. If we can start to begin to convert even a small percentage of those 1 million views, what opportunities that will give for members of the Institute. Now, Paul's mentioned the document that we've spent 2 years working on and was launched this week, but RIBA for Clients has been another major thrust. A lady by the name of Linda Stevens was appointed as Head of Client Services when I became President, and over the 2 years we've engaged with over 500 clients, listening to them, listening to external perceptions of what they think about our profession and what we can do to better shape our services to suit client outcomes. The document that Paul referenced, Client and Architect Developing the Essential Relationship, you can download it, was really, it seeks to try and offer us all evidence-based insights to help members target work more effectively and improve the value of what we do, of what we offer to our clients. So what were the other highlights? Well, we've always had an incredible sort of regional festival architecture called Love Architecture. At the beginning of the Tour de France, or was it the Tour of Yorkshire, we had a competition to design a bike stand, which now sits where the winner's podium was on that first, on the Grand Depart. 30,000 people came to see this little boy who designed this bike stand. It was absolutely extraordinary. And the sort of things you have to do as president, judging a cake competition in Newcastle. You know, these are the things that you have to do.